It's time for Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather, sponsored by Scooters Coffee and Rescue Towing. Here's your host, meteorologist Abby Dyer.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to your Thursday. I hope you had a nice Juneteenth holiday if you were off work yesterday. And if not, well, hopefully you work indoors because it was a scorcher again. And I have more of that hot and humid weather to come as we round out the work week. Temperatures this morning are starting off warm. We're at 70 degrees as of 5 a.m. And I have near 90 for the high temperature this afternoon. Another hot and sunny day. If you're going to be outdoors at all today, you got to find a way to cool down because the heat index value will be anywhere from 95 to 100 for the entire area through the course of the afternoon. Kind of this broken record forecast here for the next several days, but heat's actually intensifying in this forecast. I have numbers that will likely be climbing to the upper 90s. That happens by the weekend. It is just going to be this awful pattern where we're blocked under this big bubble of hot air. It's a ridge of high pressure that has set up and stationed itself across really the eastern half of the country. So yes, heat headlines are in the national headlines as well as our headlines here in the Ozarks. We do have this frontal boundary that's really draped across the entire northern tier of the country. And that's the boundary where some of the activity with thunderstorms will be later today. There's also, of course, all the Gulf moisture happening and severe weather possible in Southwest Texas today. There is going to be this opportunity for severe weather for southern South Dakota, portions of northern Iowa, and southern Minnesota today. We don't get any severe storms, and really, I think our rain chances today are very limited. But when you have hot and humid weather, you can't rule out those pop-up summertime thunderstorms any one day. However, I don't think it'll be severe weather, just some scattered activity in the forecast by the time we get to this afternoon. I mentioned that temperatures for the weekend could be in the upper 90s. Yeah, we're talking like 97 degrees on Saturday. So easily the heat index value will be well into the triple digits. We're starting to get into this dangerous territory here when we talk about the prolonged and intense heat and humidity that's going to linger through the weekend forecast. So really, if you have outdoor events planned, try and make them for the morning hours, the late evening hours. That's going to be the time of day where the temperatures and the UV index are not as bad. UV index has just been off the charts the last couple of days, burn time in less than 10 minutes. And today is no exception. It's going to be another scorcher. So, of course, use sunscreen as high as you can and hat. Find the shade. You might be able to catch a slight breeze today, but it's not going to be too windy out there this afternoon. I do have an opportunity for some scattered showers and thunderstorms. This is about a 30% chance for rain, and it enters the forecast late in the weekend. I'm talking Sunday, Monday, Tuesday of next week. Probably not enough to cool us off, though. I think the rain showers are so widely scattered that we won't have a whole lot in the way of, big coverage that's going to blanket the Ozarks, which means our temperatures aren't held down much at all. My forecast today is for 90 degrees, mostly sunny through the course of the afternoon. Once again, tonight, we only fall to about 70. Sets us up for another hot one tomorrow. I think we're in the mid 90s in spots on Friday. We're in the upper 90s by Saturday. Sunday looks just as hot, but I think we at least have a better chance for some storms on Sunday. So hopefully you get in on some of that rain-cooled air that will be out there at times through the weekend. Hot and humid weather, it continues through the rest of June. Problem is, oftentimes in the summer, you hear meteorologists talk about these big high pressure systems, the ridge that I just referred to. Well, they're really, really difficult to break down with the current jet stream pattern. So they're prolonged. And this means that it's going to mean a whole lot of heat heading to the Ozarks, not just as we wrap up our 7-day forecast, but through the end of the month. I see this pattern really continuing, perhaps not starting to break down and back off with the rain chances until we get to the month of July. Also, rain chances, they're out there from time to time, but overall, this is going to be kind of a dry pattern. We're doing all right in terms of drought conditions in the Ozarks. But of course, this stretch of many dry days, the plants are needing a drink. Gardeners having to get out there and water maybe a couple times a day because of the heat. It's just so intense in the forecast. I mentioned that you'd be hearing about this big heat wave really in the national news headlines, and I know you already have in many spots. This heat wave is persistent over the Midwest, the Great Lakes, the Ohio River Valley, the Northeast into late week. Now, yes, it's hot here in the Ozarks, but we're not breaking records. they are breaking records up in the Northeast. So, our friends in New England are suffering through some of the worst of this heat. And we have thunderstorms that return to the plains. That happens tonight into tomorrow morning for the places I mentioned that could see some severe weather. Thankfully, we're not talking severe weather in the Ozarks. Things do shape up pretty nicely for us in terms of not seeing the strong storm activity. We just need to take some breaks and find some AC over the next couple of days. All right, it's time for the Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather Brain Twister Trivia question for the day. Here's the question that I left you with yesterday. Which month of the year is National Ice Cream Month? The options were A, June, B, July, C, August, or D, September. It is B, July. I've already been celebrating, though. I think you can celebrate ice cream any month of the year, but officially, National Ice Cream Month is celebrated in the United States every July. President Ronald Reagan established the month in 1984 through Proclamation 5219. He also designated the third Sunday of July as National Ice Cream Day. So we'll be sure to celebrate that day. But hey, celebrate the entire month of July if you would like to. The celebrations were inspired by resolutions in the United States Senate and the House of Representatives. This was sponsored by Senator Walter D. Huddleston. And we thank you for drawing great attention to designating a month and a day for the celebration of ice cream. I think that's important, and we do. But now you know, be July, the official month where we celebrate ice cream here in the good old US of A. There we go. All right, here's the question that I'll leave you with for tomorrow. It's your next chance to win $20 to Scooter's Coffee. What is the national animal of Scotland? Do you think it is A, a sheep, B, a horse, C, a lion, or D, a unicorn? The Scottish. Which animal do you think they celebrate as their national animal? No Googling, that takes all the fun out of it, but you can submit your guess. That's over at aroundtheozarks.com. While you're there, we've got a breakdown of the weather forecast. Just click on the weather tab. You can find that all day, every day over at the website. And thank you so much to our sponsors, Scooter's Coffee and Rescue Towing, for sponsoring Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather. I'm meteorologist Abby Dyer. Thanks so much for listening. We will chat again tomorrow morning.